It's weird when the Hollywood Reporter comes up with news that should scare the piss out of everybody. So we know about the deal or the bribe that Paramount paid Trump, $16 million to settle the lawsuit with CBS over 60 Minutes, which would have been a nothing burger, but corporation was chicken because there's billions of dollars on the table, and they want Trump to, sign off on the FCC approval, but basically he's pressuring them because that's what he does. Then came the Stephen Colbert firing, which came from Trump. He had met with the head of Skydance. The FCC chairman had met with the head of Skydance just before the firing, so that probably came down. But what they're saying right now is, in addition to the 16 million, Trump is demanding, before they can agree to the merger, greenlight the merger, they are demanding. They have literally a political oversight in CBS. If you know the old days, you had a political officer, or in the Soviet days, on a military ship or any kind of business, to make sure you adhere to the Soviet propaganda, that you don't do anything that's anti-Soviet. Okay? Political officer. Trump and Project 2025 are pressuring Paramount to have such an officer oversighting anything that comes across CBS, be it news, be it entertainment, that fits within the conservative framework of what they believe should be presented to the public from CBS. In other words, fucking absolute censorship and turning CBS from a media network under the guise of the First Amendment and free speech to a propaganda arm for Trump and MAGA. I would write and call the FCC now, or call your congressman and say, no, fight every day that merger doesn't come through. Because if Trump gets away with that, considering what ABC and Disney have done and giving him money, they're next. And NBC is next. This is very, very fucking Soviet and communist. You get it? You can talk all your shit about liberals being commies and Marxists. No, honeys. Been there. Done that. Lived the history. That is a political officer right out of the Soviet Union and communism. That's what they used to call, what did they call it? A Tsar? Or someone in charge of that. That's insane. That's what they're doing. In order to get your $8 billion, you're literally going to sell your voice, your freedom to Trump so he can have his little plaything and be in charge of CBS and what is said, and Project 2025 and evangelicals and all that. Can you imagine that bullshit that you write a story? Even could you imagine the old Big Bang Theory? How that could be a nightmare? Each script has to be approved by the political officer. I mean, that makes what Joe McCarthy did during the dark days in Hollywood bullshit. This is extreme. And he's doing it because these corporations don't give a fuck about the bottom line. So I would call my congressman and say, hey, you need to draw a light on this. They're looking to take CBS from a media network to a propaganda network run by Donald Trump and Project 2025. Look up the Hollywood Reporter. Look at that story. It is fucking disgusting and disturbing. Please heed my words.